Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Is our video going to stop playing here? It is looping. All right. Welcome in. Here in just a second, this video is going to stop. There we are. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Brandon. I'm joined by Shelby Gaines, who is one of our support specialists. Shelby, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Brandon. So it's a good Tuesday morning to be here.
It is indeed a good Tuesday. And
hmm
happy holidays to everybody. Hope you're staying warm and enjoying, either the craziness of Q4 at the end of the quarter, or perhaps the temporary grant of sanity that the end of the year brings to you. Either way, we have a pretty good crowd coming in, so um, welcome in. Good to see everyone. As a reminder to those of you that are viewing, whether you're on LinkedIn, you're on YouTube, you're on promevo.com, you're on StreamYard, we're on a lot of different platforms. We can see the comments over on the right. So wherever you're in, you should have a comment bar on the right side of that screen. Uh, Drop in your comments. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to say hello if you want. If you have questions as Shelby is going through this demo, uh, please jump in and ask. We will, some of them we might hold until the end. Some of them we might jump in and address immediately. So for those of you that are here, here's how it's going to go today. Richard, good to hear from you. Thank you for saying hello. It's good to see you out there. Here's what we're doing today. This is we call it gPanel Basics. So a lot of you, you're either gPanel users, maybe you're new to it, maybe you're in the middle of your trial, and you're trying to figure out like, hey, what do I do with this thing? How do I get this to work? What are the different functions that I can do? Today is for you. We're not trying to do super deep dive on a bunch of stuff. However, you can always reach out to Shelby and she will be glad to give you a tour of the platform. Also, if you go to promevo.com, go into our webinar section, promevo.com/webinars. We've got a whole library of tutorials that are deep dives on things like email signatures, reports, user management, security. So this is meant to be more of a like basic explainer. But that being said, as Shelby goes through it, good morning, everybody. Love to see you saying hello out there. As Shelby's going through this, jump in with your questions. Like we will leave time at the end if you want to dig into things a little bit more. So, as a reminder, jump in with your questions, and we will send out this email. Sorry, after this is done, you'll get an email that will have a link to this recording so you can watch it whenever you want. So, with that, I am going to turn it over to Shelby, and she is going to take you on a tour of gPanel.
Thank you, Brandon. Hi, everyone. I am Shelby Gaines. Like Brandon said, I'm one of the system support engineers here with Promevo. I have probably worked with some of you guys on a ticket or a video call. Once, but it's nice to be here. And yes, like Brandon said, I will be hosting this month's gPanel webinar over gPanel Basics. This webinar will walk new gPanel administrators through some of the most helpful features of the platform. The goal is to provide you with the insight and confidence you need to effectively use gPanel. The topics today will be user management, calendar resources, drive functionality, and the reporting tool. Some key takeaways from this webinar are going to be understanding the core functions of gPanel, gaining confidence in navigating the gPanel's interface, and learning how to leverage gPanel's features to streamline administrative tasks. gPanel is a tool that duplicates a lot of the functionality in the admin console. It also provides additional features that aren't found in the Google Admin Console. Simply put, gPanel is a tool to manage users and adjust their permissions. Let's get started. gPanel's user management page serves as the default landing page for admins, providing a comprehensive user directory that mirrors the Google Admin Console, eliminating the need for user imports. New users can be added here. It is a straightforward process similar to Google's. gPanel provides granular control over users' permissions with user profile settings organized by service for efficient management. And that is this toolbar right here. Notably, gPanel offers unique Gmail management capabilities that enhance user control and oversight. Account delegation is a feature that allows an admin to grant specific privileges to other users' inboxes. Within Gmail, end users are able to delegate their own accounts out, but in situations where you need individuals to act on behalf of each other, perhaps an unexcused absences, a compliance situation, admin are going to be able to delegate up to 25 users in gPanel. Vacation responder and forwarding are also unique to Gmail. While these functions are available to the end user in Gmail, there is no way for administrators to access these permissions. In gPanel, administrators have the ability to manage these settings. A vacation responder, also known as an automatic reply or out of office message, is a useful tool to inform senders that you are unavailable and provide information about when you or a user will be back. And again, this can help manage expectations and prevent urgent matters from falling through the cracks. For businesses who have clients that anticipate ongoing communication, this gPanel feature might be a valuable tool for your business. The same can be said about forwarding. Enabling the email forwarding ensures productivity and creates a backup of important emails by forwarding them to another address. Again, making sure that those important critical emails and communications are being addressed and that people see those.
Shelby,
Yes.
if you don't mind, we have a question that's very, I think, specific to this, and it's
Mhm,
actually very timely since we're at a time in the holidays where a lot of companies will be closing for a couple of days at a time.
mhm.
Can you set out of office messages for a group or for everyone at once, like a company-wide out of office notice?
Yes, you can. And if I was gonna, you can do that. It would take me some time to set that up, but you would have the ability to do that. Yes,
Fantastic. Once again, reach out to Shelby, the
we
little
can set
chat
it up.
icon that's down there in the corner. You can talk with her directly, and she'll help you with that.
Yeah. But
Sorry,
yes,
or
you can.
thank
No
you.
worries, no worries, no worries, no worries for sure. I think I was on forwarding. Actually, the next feature is going to be the signature templates, and I like the signature templates. There's a lot that we can go over with signature templates, but again, this is another unique feature within gPanel. Signature templates can help streamline your workflow and enhance your professional images. This is just one that I created. But signature templates help with branding and help maintain a consistent look and feel for your emails with a standardized signature block. They offer quick access to your contact information like name, title, company phone number. You can add links to your social media profiles to expand your online presence. And again, a well crafted signature block also just adds a touch of professionalism to each and every email. You will be able to run these signature templates against groups, users, domains. Again, there's so much that we can go into with signature templates. If that is an area that you would like to see more of, I would be more than happy to go over that outside of this webinar. The next section that I would like to explore are going to be calendar resources. gPanel offers comprehensive calendar management capabilities exceeding the limitations of the Google Admin Console. Basically, a lot of the things that we can do in the gPanel console, you cannot do in the admin console. One key feature I like to point out is the ability to transfer calendars without user deactivation. This is particularly beneficial during employee offboarding, ensuring that future events are not missed. For example, if an employee leaves on Friday, but their calendar is booked for the entire next month, a full calendar transfer can be done to maintain that continuity of those events. When admin access a user's profile in gPanel, they will see all of the associated calendars, including secondary ones. All of those calendars will be visible. Administrators will have the ability to edit calendars. So if I needed to come here and change the name, let's say from Bruce Banner to, let's say, Marvel Agencies, change the time zone and the location, administrators have the ability to do that. Administrators will also have the ability to share and manage user access And the user access roles are going to be the same that are found within the admin console. So if you needed to change the visibility from like a top level, if you needed to maybe share it domain wide, or maybe you just need only a few certain people to access the calendar, or if you want everyone else to see it on the calendar, everyone else on the internet to see the calendar, you have those options to change it here. Admin can also come in and add both users and groups to calendars and adjust their roles. So if you have a new user, you might want to add an HR group so that that HR group can add calendar events and see their events as needed. Admin are also going to be able to fully manage calendar events. So not only can they see the events that are on a user's calendar, they have the ability to create events. They can add different users and groups. You are able to set up reoccurring events. That has been one question that we've been getting a lot, you do have the ability to create those. If you needed to edit a pre-existing event, you will have the ability to do that. Whether if you needed to edit it, you can change the time, the day, add or remove users and groups. You will also have the ability to open in Google Calendar. It creates a little shortcut for you. And if you needed to move this calendar to another user, you could do that here as well. Admin will see a list of all actions that have been taken on a user's calendar by looking at the calendar history. Again, this is really helpful for for some of those companies that really have a high compliance. They have to comply to like compliance regulations. This is going to be helpful to here. It will provide you basically every user that is making an action within a user's calendar. Again, very helpful in certain auditing situations. Out of the respective time, I'm not going to go into resource calendars or resource templates. However, you are able to manage those similarly how you're able to manage calendars. And again, if you would like to see any of that, I would be more than happy to do that outside of this webinar. I also do want to highlight calendar transfer logs for organizations with compliance requirements. gPanel's calendar transfer logs provide a valuable audit trail, and they will document all of the calendar transfer activities. So, in summary, gPanels empowers administrators with enhanced control over over user calendars, streamlining processes like employee offboarding, ensuring continuity of events, and maintaining compliance through detailed audit trails. The next section that we are going to cover is going to be drive management in gPanel. And this may be one of like my favorite sections, I think, because there's just so much to do within gPanel. Unlike well, actually, the first tool I would like to highlight is going to be the ability to transfer the My Drive. You do have the ability to transfer drives within the admin console. However, if you've ever done it in the admin console, you know that this is irreversible, meaning that it cannot be undone. In certain situations where you accidentally transfer a drive to someone, on an accident, you can utilize our drive sweep tool. The drive sweep tool basically restores edit access to the former owner. It won't give them back their original access, but it's better than them not having access at all. And again, that is our drive sweep tool. Unlike the limited My Drive management in the Google Admin Console, gPanel provides a comprehensive access to all users' folders and files. Administrators will have the ability to create folders. They will have the ability to view documents. So if I needed to see what exactly this document was, I would be able to see a preview of this. Again, this is something that does not exist in the Google Admin Console. Administrators are also going to be able to adjust the sharing permissions and control document visibility. Again, very helpful if you need to change it from a top level. Maybe only certain people with the link need access. Maybe a certain people in your domain, or maybe just certain users need access. You'll be able to change all of these here at the top. You can also add users and groups and adjust their roles. These roles are going to be the same roles that are found in the native My Drive. And you're also going to be able to set expiration dates for access. This is helpful if you need if you only need users to have access to certain documents or folders for a set period of time. It's basically set it and forget it. And again, this is a feature I'd like to highlight because this is something that is not available within the admin console. There is a drive search tool that is available within the native drive. However, that is only exclusive to the user's drive. gPanel's drive search tool allows administrators to locate any document within the domain using various search parameters. So for instance, I know that if I have a user and I'm looking for a document and maybe he hasn't been able to find it for a couple months, maybe even a few years. As long as I have the user, and again, it doesn't have to be the user, it can be a group, OU, or domain. But even if I have a little bit of information, let's just say if I just type in resume, it may not be the exact title of the document. I may be unsure of the last time it was modified or when it was created. But even with just having just these parameters in, I'm able to search for the document, and I'm also going to be able to manage it similarly to how I manage documents within my drive. So if I needed to come in here and look to make sure this was the correct document, I'm able to do that as well. Again, something that is exclusive to gPanel. If I needed to rename the document or perhaps share it out and adjust the permissions, the roles, add some access expiration dates, I'm also able to do that here within the Drive Search tool as well. And if I needed to get rid of the document because it was just something that just is no longer needed, I will also have the ability to do that as well. Again, ownership transfer logs are going to be really helpful for those companies that rely a lot on compliance. It's going to provide a log to you of all the logs that have been transferred. That drive sweep tool, it's going to be that tool that is going to provide edit access to the former owner. Again, helpful in situations where my drive might have accidentally been transferred to the wrong person or on an accident. Shared drives. When an administrator comes into shared drives, they will see all of the drives available for the domain. They will also have the ability to share drives and manage members and adjust their roles. And those roles will mirror those that are found in the native Drive app. There may come a time where you click on some drives and you may not have access to these drives. If you encounter a drive where you lack access, a pop-up request will appear and you will be able to grant yourself the necessary permissions. So for this one, I'm going to give myself content manager. I would ensure that when this pop-up comes, at least grant yourself viewer permissions so you are able to manipulate the documents and folders if you need be. So I will just give myself content manager. But what that does is going to grant me access to that shared drive. I will have access to all the shared drives. I will be able to manage them similarly to how I can manage my drives. But what's cool about this is, let's say if I come into this drive and I needed to view it. When viewing folders within the gPanel platform, a shortcut is automatically created, placing you directly within the drive. So this is going to grant you immediate access to the desired folder or document, streamlining your workflow. And if you needed to access certain stuff from here, see these, add members, you can do that as well. But again, you also be able to do that here within gPanel too. You can add your members, rename, and view. It is crucial to remember that the permissions hierarchy within the platform, they function identically to Google Drive, meaning permissions are inherited. So therefore, when you are granting permissions to yourself and others, I would just exercise caution because these changes can have cascading problems. The last tool that we will be covering is going to be gPanel's reporting tool. The reporting tool is a powerful feature that provides administrators with a comprehensive and granular view of their organization's Google Workspace environment. While the Google Admin Console offers basic reporting capabilities, gPanel goes far beyond, offering over 77 customizable reports that deliver specific details about users, groups, OUs, and domains. Some key advantages of using gPanel's reporting tool are going to be granular insights. You'll be able to gain deeper insights into user activity, data usage, security, and compliance. You'll be able to tailor reports to your specific needs and preferences, schedule reports for recurring tasks and automate delivery, share reports with specific users or teams. When you do create these reports, they are generated in real time, so you will have up to the minute insights. And we also have access to reports that are not available within the admin console, such as externally owned docs and detailed user profile and drive reports. So let's take a look. When you go to create a report, you will notice that all of the reports are going to be categorized by service. Each report will have different sets of data depending on which report you choose. Here's just a quick look at some of the reports that we offer. Keep in mind that depending on your tier of gPanel, that will affect what reports you have access to. So for instance, if you are on gPanel Starter, you only have 12 reports. So that's something that I like to highlight. gPanel's reporting tool allows administrators to schedule reports for recurring tasks, such as weekly or monthly reviews. If your compliance team is expecting a report of like user logins every week on Monday, you would be able to come in here and set those as appropriate. And again, this automation is going to help you save time and ensure that those metrics are being reviewed and that people are staying on top of those. Each report is going to offer different data, but you don't have to have all of these columns. So this makes it really easy. Again, it's customizable. So if you just need certain columns for certain parts of data, admin are able to come in and adjust those. You can run your reports against users, groups, OUs, and domains. And you can also configure reports to be emailed automatically to specific users or groups. You can export these reports to various formats such as PDF or CSV for further analysis or archiving. But again, I wanted to highlight that the gPanel's reports are generated in real time, providing you the most up-to-date information. I also want to quickly highlight before we end this webinar, I do want to highlight our gPanel deletion tool. You would use this Gmail deletion tool in a situation where you needed to remove certain emails from users' inboxes. Again, this tool is really in depth. You can run this against OUs, groups, users. I'm not going to go into in-depth on this today, but I will be covering this in a future webinar. So if you have any questions or would like to see some of this outside of this webinar, of course, please reach out to set time. Well, and Brandon, I was going to say this is going to actually kind of conclude the webinar for today. I appreciate all of you guys for joining us. And again, like we've all mentioned, if you have any questions or would like a more in-depth look at any of the tools that you saw today at gPanel, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you, Shelby. And we're not wrapping just yet for those of you that are still here. So we do have one more question that was submitted earlier when we were talking about calendars, and I'll go back to that here in just a second.
Okay.
Anyone else that has questions, now is the time to get them in. We'll take the next couple of minutes to address those. While you're submitting those, just another quick reminder that if you go to promevo.com and underneath our webinars section, so promevo.com/webinars, we've been doing gPanel deep dives for the last year. And you can find sessions on like how to automate offboarding and decommissioning, how to set policies, bulk operations, integration. So, you know, it varies on which tier you have access to, but you can connect gPanel and therefore your Google Workspace to basically any tool that has an API using our gPanel APIs. So like there's so much out there. Like Shelby mentioned, we're going to get into some more like in-depth topics over the next few months. One of those that a lot of people ask about that she just mentioned is how do I manage user Gmail? How do I go into a user's inbox and delete a specific email? We'll cover that probably sometime shortly after the new year. So if there's something like that you're curious about or you'd like to see us address, that's what we're here for. It's what we do. So let us know. With that, and one other note is you can go to, I added a couple of links. I don't know that they rendered correctly, but I linked our support form So for those of you that are gPanel users and you need help or you want to know how to do something, go to promevo.com/support. And if you're watching this or you're curious about gPanel, reach out to us. We'll set you up with a test drive with a demo. And you can do that by going to promevo.com/gpanel-demo. Just go to promevo.com and fill out a form. We'll see it. Okay, a couple of questions, Shelby.
Okay.
One, going back to calendars, we were asked, is there a way to view and copy the calendar URL? He mentions that this is something that the previous gPanel interface had that was really useful for sending to users.
Yes, the URL, I believe yes, I know it's the URL or the ID, because I know you can find the calendar ID. Let me see.
Maybe either one.
Because I know you can find the calendar. I know there's access to the calendar ID because I've seen that before. Of course, where would it be?
He clarified that it's the calendar ID.
Okay. I was gonna say, yeah, you can find the calendar ID. Because I've seen it. I just had a let me see. You can find that. Is it in events? If you can get his information, I can reach back out to him and email him right after this. I know that you can see it because I found it, but I can email him directly on that if you can get his information. Brandon.
Greg, we will reach out to you as soon as we wrap here. Another one. So this one is actually probably maybe one for me. We were asked, is there a webinar that would cover some of the automatic actions that we can take during a user termination? The answer to that is yes. Like I mentioned, we've got a deep dive on onboarding and commissioning. I can send you that link, Scott, if I have your email. If not, let me drop in a link into the chat here. So that's a link to our office hours webinar series. You will be able to go in there, and back in session 4 in February, we did onboarding and decommissioning. But we also, the month before that in January, we covered policies, which is another way of like being able to like enforce. Another one that I want to throw out there that we did just a couple months ago in August is the rules engine. And that's where you can set up like conditions for different things that happen within your Google Workspace environment. So, one example there is like if a user suddenly deletes 10 documents at within like a window, you can trigger a notification in your chat in like a chat space, or you can trigger an email, things like that. So tons, and again, like what Shelby just went through is just like the tip of the iceberg. We have tons and tons of automation.
We'd be here all day going over stuff.
We literally could sit here and talk about all the gPanel stuff for hours. It's quite dense. This is meant to just help you hopefully get familiar and get you comfortable with like what are the primary functions. But again, go through those webinars. We'll be refreshing a lot of those over the next year. Just as a good transition, we're going to go ahead and wrap because we're just about at time. But keep follow Promevo, join our gPanel newsletter. We will keep you up to date on all of the webinars. We have new functions that we're announcing all the time. I've seen the roadmap for gPanel. It's insane. There's going to be more and more stuff coming, as well as improvements to the things that we're already walking through. Like the team is constantly working on those. So stay tuned. We'll do this again next month. Shelby's fine tuning it just a little bit every month. We're trying to get a little bit better at making sure we're communicating the stuff that you need to know. So you can join as many of these as you want. And as always, you can reach out to Shelby and the team, either using the little chat icon that you can see down there in the corner, or go to promevo.com/support. There you go. All right. And with that, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you to everyone who joined. Good crowd. Agnes, yes, there's a ton of videos. You'll get a link to this video. If you registered, you'll get a link to this video in your email. If not, about 2 comments ago, I dropped in a comment with a link to our office hours sessions. So you're welcome to go back and review all of those. But yeah, with that, happy holidays, everybody. Really good to see you. Thank you for joining, and we look forward to seeing you again. Have a good day.
Bye.